Yes. The Olympic champion, 3 world champions and all 3 medalists from Sydney 2000 in the lineup for this, the first of our 14 gold medal finals, the women's single sculls. Furthest away from us in lane 1, Nuria Dominguez, who has the distinction of being the first Spanish woman to appear in an Olympic single sculls final. In lane 2, the world champion of the past 2 years, Bulgaria's Rumiana Nekova, denied Olympic gold 4 years ago by the woman alongside her today, 33-year-old Ekaterina Karsten of Belarus, the 96 and 2000 Olympic champion and twice a world champion in the 90s, who these days lives with husband Wilfried in Germany. However, representing Germany, Katrin Rutschau-Stomporowski, the Sydney bronze medalist who won her world championship in 2001 on the Rötzee in Lucerne, where just 7 weeks ago she comprehensively defeated all of today's rivals in the Bearing Point World Cup final. At 23, this is the Czech Republic's Mirka Napkova. She represents the new generation, 4th in last year's Worlds. She's not without a chance. And completing the lineup in 6, closest to you, New Zealand's Sonia Waddell, whose husband Rob won the singles title in Sydney before turning himself into an America's Cup yachtsman. Sonia's 6th 4 years ago in Sydney, 7th at last year's World Championships in Italy.
And we've got a big 3 in the middle there from Germany, Belarus and Bulgaria, but outsider Knapkova from the Czech Republic, she's been really pushing the big leaders quite hard, and in fact she's gone right out in front there now, and she's a nice sculler. She's young, she's very ambitious, and she's moving very sweetly there. But on the far side, just 2 down there in lane number 2, Rumania Nekova of Bulgaria. She likes to get out quite fast, but nice to see also the Olympic champion Karsten sitting there in lane 3. She's up there with the leaders, and she seems to be reinvigorated since the last couple of years when she's been trying to double up and doing too much, I think, on the circuit. Here she can focus completely on this one event.
Well, I just wonder whether we're going to get the sort of finish that we had 4 years ago in Sydney, when Ekaterina Karsten, after a 20-minute wait, was given the verdict over Rumiana Nekova, the margin 12 thousandths of a second. But it is Napkova, Dan, who's still got the advantage.
Yeah, it's surprising to see Germany sitting that far back there. She usually gets away pretty well, Rutschau-Stomporowski. She's sitting there, poised, looking quite comfortable, but she is about 3/4 of a length down, and she's got a bit of work there to make up in this second 500.
Well, the only one who's losing touch at this stage is Spain's Nuria Dominguez, who was actually born in Toronto. But here's the promising 23-year-old Czech, Mirka Napkova.
Oh, absolutely. She's a nice sculler too. She does move very, very sweetly, and the boat runs nicely. And but you can see there that Bulgaria, Nekova there, is moving very nicely up in front.
Coming to the end of the first quarter, Sonia Waddell, very much on the premises, 31 years of age in her 2nd Olympic Games, and has even expressed the idea that whatever happens today, she might well continue on to Beijing.
Well, her husband might have something to say about that, but he's going to be doing the America's Cup, but she's just slipping off a little bit there, but still in there. It's interesting to see Rutschau-Stomporowski for Germany coming through now. She's beginning to push on quite well. Nice close-up there of Rumania Nekova, up there on the top of your picture.
Would you be worried about her, Dan, because she's obviously had her own version of preparation, but hasn't actually won any of the Bearing Point World Cup regattas in the build-up to these World Championships?
Well, she's been under a bit of pressure, I think, this season, and certainly from Knapkova and certainly from Germany. But what I'm interested in seeing really is the Olympic champion Karsten, to see whether my guess that she's really going to come out storming in this second 500, because she's very powerful over the second 500. She's a powerful sculler, long sculler, and I would expect to see her moving very, very well over this second 1,000.
But in fact, the sculler who's moving fastest of all in the blue boat, that's Katrin Rutschau-Stomporowski, 29 years of age, from Berlin, from the Wannsee club, and she's really now made a move. She's into 2nd place and putting pressure on the two big names to her left, and now looking better than ever. She's really got a good rhythm, Dan.
She hasn't done anything spectacular. She's just hardened up in the water, but she's sitting there and she's just coolly sculling right through the field. And it's all happened in the second 500 metres as they come up to the 1,000 metre mark. And it doesn't look as if any of them are responding there. She just sculled right the way through, and they're all sitting very, very calmly. They are line abreast, these four main scullers.
So 1,000 metres, the half distance, and the complexion of the race has changed. Germany, Ekaterina Karsten takes over from Nakova. Karsten and Nakova for Belarus. Here's Karsten for Belarus, and Nakova just to her left. Still very much on the premises, but surely, Dan, they've got to watch out here. They can't let Dombrowski get away.
Well, they're guessing that she's had to do an awful lot of work to get back on turns, because she was about 3/4 of a length down. She had to work hard to come right through, but she's looking strong there. She's looking strong. Just look at her boat. It's just running nicely. Very little bounce there. Boat's just moving away, and she's just carrying on through. And they haven't responded. Now Nakova is beginning to respond to that. They've both started to come back a little bit. They're holding on to her, but she still is moving very, very nicely away. And Nakova now, from that initial lead, she's beginning to slip back a bit.
There still may be a chance for Nakova to have a little go for the bronze medal, but it is Ekaterina Dombrowski who, off the water, focuses much of her attention as a fashion designer, but at this moment trying to realise an ambition that she gave birth to after the Atlanta Olympic Games when she won that gold medal with the German quad.
Measure how fast the leading scullers are going, because New Zealand's Sonny Waddell there slipping well back off the field. She's a good, fast, strong sculler and was a finalist in Sydney as well. But look at the way that Dombrowski is moving. She's sculling so well, so comfortably, and she's now length clear of the field, and they still haven't done anything to stop her.
Nakova on the far side, just beginning again, as you said, Dan, to try and raise her game. Ekaterina Karsten going with her, but these two have got an awful lot of water to catch up now. Well over a length, going on for 2 lengths the advantage with just 500 metres to go, and just a hint of the tailwind at the moment, but conditions really good.
Well, I expect Karsten to start to lift it really now in this last 500 metres, but there, 34 strokes a minute. Dombrowski is looking very strong. Look at this, she's now moved out to clear water, length of clear water, and she's still going away. It's Nakova who's picked up the chase just there, but it's neck and neck now between Nakova and Karsten.
Yeah, well, that's really a reenactment of what we saw in Sydney. It'll be interesting to see that Nakova can just get the verdict, but neither of those two look as if they're good enough to take the gold medal, because Ekaterina Dombrowski has flown, and she is well clear. Nakova just having a look around, seeing where Karsten is, and Nakova also not without a chance.
But look at that, they've absolutely stroke for stroke, these two rivals here, stroke for stroke, and really making no pressure at all on Germany. But Nakova, as you're absolutely right, she's sitting there poised, could make a push, but now they've moved up to 37 strokes a minute. They are fighting it out between the two of them there for the silver medal, but no one's going to touch Dombrowski. She's out there, 3.5 lengths in front. She could never have guessed it would be so easy. Look at that.
Well, this is absolutely emphatic. She was the winner in Lucerne 7 weeks ago, but that was 7 weeks ago when she beat Karsten and Nakova into second and third, when Nakova was only fourth. But this is a fantastic start for Ekaterina Dombrowski and the German squad to take the gold here in the women's single sculls. And Jutta Lau will be somewhere on the side, the woman who masterminds the German sculling squad, because this is a fantastic performance. And the Olympic champion is Ekaterina Dombrowski, with Ekaterina Karsten once again getting the better of Rumiana Nakova. And just in fourth place there, it is Mirka Knapkova of the Czech Republic, with Sonny Waddell finishing fifth, and yet to finish Nuria Dominguez for Spain. Well, what about that, Dan?
Well, that was an extraordinarily cool piece of sculling from Dombrowski. She just moved right through the field. They left it very, very late to respond. They seemed to let her come through, thinking that she'd probably worked too hard there, and they just couldn't get back to her. You saw at the end there, it was Karsten who won that battle with Nakova there by going up to 37 strokes a minute, but it brought her back a little bit onto Dombrowski, but not enough. Look at that. Length no, 2 lengths clear.
Well, a really steady start by Ekaterina Dombrowski, but absolutely dominant through the second, third and final quarters.
There's a nice piece of sculling there from her. She sits low in the boat, drives her legs down, and then unwinds to the finish of the stroke. Boat not bouncing at all. Good horizontal drive. I think Nakova there on the top of the picture there, she couldn't raise her rating above 34 strokes a minute, and that's where Karsten was able to score, because she went up 4 strokes above her. And what joy for Ekaterina Dombrowski. That was a great performance.
And a really confident one, and one she's been threatening to produce since winning the world title 3 years ago in Lucerne. Rutschau, the first German to win this title for 16 years. Jutta Berendt it was in Seoul for the GDR. Or maybe for Nakova and Karsten, both in their 30s, retirement beckons, or maybe not, since this is how they earn their living. However, having now secured this most coveted prize, perhaps Ekaterina Rutschau might well call it a day to pursue her ambitions in the world of fashion.